Hello, hello, folks. Welcome to the Deep Fried Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Fry, and thanks for listening. Well, it's been about 5 months since my last episode, and gosh, there has been so many things that have happened in the sports world. Not to mention, sports being entirely canceled back in March. It's been crazy, and I've kind of been down. My sports, they were gone, and now they're back, but they're different. And here's one of the reasons why.
I don't watch the political talk show television shows. I don't. I find politics so dishonest that I just try to avoid it. And so if I refuse to watch all the cable news programs that cover politics, there's just no way I want it mixed in with my football games and basketball games. And so there are some down in the bubble. The basketball that I have watched some NBA. It's been pretty good. If it wasn't for the politics, I'm not sure if I would ever miss a game. But there's only so much of it I can take. I find the stupidity of all the stuff written on the back of their jerseys infuriating. The Black Lives Matter signs and all that I find the way the announcers talk about this, the television commercials, stuffing it down my throat. You're talking about a guy whose whole life has been built around playing or watching sports. It's been the joy of my life. And they're just making it hard. And and Ball State football being canceled, I'm telling you, that's my favorite thing in the world. The only thing that possibly competes with me watching Ball State football is watching Tiger Woods compete in a major golf championship. That's the only time where I'd have to go, man, I got a decision to make. But they've taken Ball State football away from me, and I'm sad.
Man, Jason Whitlock, you are so right. I'm right there on the same page with you. I do not watch politics. I avoid them like the plague. And they have infiltrated the sports world. You know, when I was a kid growing up watching sports, I used to look at the American athlete, Michael Jordan. My personal favorite baseball player when I was a kid was Mark McGwire. Yes, I know, the PEDs. But he was my hero. In '98, when he hit all those home runs in that race with Sammy Sosa, it was the best thing ever. There was no talk of politics. There was no talk of social justice. All these guys playing these sports were larger than life. They were giants. And when I thought about them, I thought about how great they were, how much work they put in to get where they're at. I respected them. I looked up to them. Now, when I watch sports, I think, well, I wonder which way he leans politically. Oh, do I agree with what he's saying on social media? And I just can't stand it anymore. Now, Jason Whitlock said all that stuff. He is a black man, a journalist, and he doesn't like it. I watched the Chiefs and I watched the Texans last night, and it was a great game. But every single commercial, it seemed like, was the same narrative. Okay, at least they didn't have it all over the field and all over the jerseys like the NBA does. You know, I can get behind Black Lives Matter when George Floyd is killed mercilessly with a knee on his neck. We're all on the same page. We were all on the same page when George Floyd was murdered. Jacob Blake gets shot, and we all get crazy because we think it's the same thing. But the facts haven't come out. Investigation hasn't happened. And look, now that story has been swept under the rug, and they cancel these games for no reason. The agenda of the media has infiltrated sports, and it's not fun to watch anymore. People are not watching these games because they're tired of it. The ratings in the NBA are down. They thought it would be great because there wasn't any sports to watch. Wrong. The people are tired of this crap in their sports. They just want to watch a game. And so do I. I'm a white male. I have great black friends. My friend Antonio has been on this show before. We had them over the other night for dinner and played cards and laughed and even talked about this movement with peace. It's not that hard, people. Wake up. It's not as bad as you think it is. Listen to the people who have come here from socialist, communist countries like Cuba. They say this is the greatest place to live. You know, you're allowed to say whatever you want in this country, and people's emotions get jogged, and their feelings get hurt. But put on some tougher skin, folks. It's not that bad. Look, I'm sorry these things have happened, but let's wait for the facts to come out, folks. Please. I went off on a tangent there, and I'm sorry. These are the reasons why I don't do shows anymore. These are the reasons why I'm so angry about the politics in my sports. I just want to watch the game. You players, you have a right to do whatever you want. You have a right to kneel during the national anthem. You have a right to do whatever. But just during the game, can we just watch the game? Is that too much to ask? It looked like the NFL did it right. It wasn't nearly as provocative or widespread as the NBA has done. I appreciate that. And the game was good. The Chiefs won. They were down 7-0, and then they scored, 34 unanswered points and won the game? Great game. Well, folks, last but not least, let's do my picks. This year, I plan on making a few picks before each Sunday, and my picks this weekend will be Detroit to win at home against Chicago. Chicago is favored by 1 point on the road. I'll take Detroit to win outright. Seattle on the road is favored by 1.5 in Atlanta. I'll take Seattle to cover that. I'll take Pittsburgh on the road in New York against the Giants. They're favored by 3. I'll take them to cover that. And I will take Tennessee on the road in Denver. They are 3-point dogs. I think they'll go into Denver and win. I mean, look, Denver doesn't even have Von Miller for the whole year. Come on. All right, folks, I really appreciate you listening to my show. It's been a long time coming, folks, and I love you. Sorry if I got a little crazy this morning, but I love you. Music has been brought to you by Ben Sounds. Oh, Ben. I love your sounds. Thank you. Goodbye.